So the Dunces Anonymous Series has added a new book. This time around, it's Hypnotic Dunces. Sounds kind of mean, no? Well, we'll find out more right now with the author. It is Kate Jaimet joining us right now. Hello.
Hi, Dylan. How are you?
Good to have you on the show.
Good.
I'm great. Can we just start by saying you were an Ottawa Citizen reporter for how many years?
13 years.
13 years.
Yes.
What did they have you doing there?
I started in general assignment news reporting, so I was doing everything from festivals, community events, some ambulance chasing, courts, crime, basically a ton of stuff. And then I went to Parliament Hill and I reported on environmental issues for 5 years. Then I had my kids, I did some feature writing, and then eventually I left the newspaper in 2010 and went into doing some freelance writing, so lots of magazine stuff and some books and stuff like that.
So tell us how many books you put out at this point, because this is a series with 3 books, but you put out other books.
Yeah, so the Dunces Anonymous series has 3. It's for kids about age 7 to 12. And then I have 3 books in the Orca Sports series, which are mysteries, sports mysteries for high school age, and that's put out by Orca Book Publishers of Victoria, BC. And I have my first nonfiction book, came out this year with University of Ottawa Press, and it's a biography of a University of Ottawa alumnus.
Wow. All right, so you like to write.
I do.
Now, the first one in the series came out in 2009.
Yeah.
The Dunces series.
That was Dunces Anonymous, the original.
Dunces Anonymous.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about this series then.
Okay, so the premise of the series is it's a group of kids and their parents are all super high achiever, type A personalities, and they have these really high ambitions for the kids. And the kids don't necessarily want to do what their parents want them to do, so they start this secret club. It's called Dunces Anonymous, and the purpose of the club is to come up with these crazy schemes to get out of whatever it is their parents are trying to get them to do. But of course, the schemes always backfire, the kids get in more trouble, and it all kind of snowballs. And then, of course, because it's a comedy, there's always a happy ending at the end.
Is it bad to say that you have based some of these characters on family members? Did the family members know this?
They might have found out after they read the books that there were maybe. Actually, my dad was just saying about Hypnotic Dunces. Well, I don't know if I should be telling this out of school, but he said, you know, I can really see some of our family in there. And I think he was talking about himself and my mom, because they're actually split, and Josh's parents are split in the book. And there's a funny dynamic between those 2 parents. And I think my dad was seeing himself in that.
But he was saying it with pride, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Okay, so now to pick up the 3rd book, should you have read the first 2 books? Do they all tie in together?
Well, you don't have to. The thing that ties in is that the characters are the same characters. They go through the books, and they all have this secret club. But each book is its own story, so you don't have to read them in order.
Okay, and you've got some big news when it comes to the 2nd book in the series.
I'm so excited about it. So the 2nd book is Dunces Rock. And in Dunces Rock, what happens is that the principal cancels the school drama and music program. And so the kids want to get it back, and so they decide to start this band. And they're going to write all kinds of great songs about how great the principal is. So that's going to convince them to bring back the music. So this book was so full of musical themes, that what I did was I teamed up with a couple of composers, so Connor McGuire and Kurt Walter, and they wrote some music, and I wrote this into a script, a play script, and now we've teamed up with Blues Fest School of Music and Art, which is out of Dovercourt Recreation Center, and we're going to do it as a school musical.
No way.
Yeah. So
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So it's going to start, we're planning on starting it. The kids would sign up for the course and audition for parts in December or January, and then they'll run the course over about 5 or 6 months. The kids will get coaching with acting coaches and choreographers and music coaches, and then we'll put it on as a performance, a world premiere performance in probably June of next year.
I can tell you're pretty proud of this.
Super excited about that.
Fabulous series, and I'm reading your notes when I say this. Not well known. Because I don't want to say your books are not well known, but you have a reason why you think they're not as known as they should be.
I do, Dylan. And do you mind if I give you a little quiz?
Sure.
I have a quiz for you. Okay. So, what is the minimum of Canadian novels that an elementary school kid in Ontario has to read before graduating grade 8?
Gosh, I'm not sure. I mean, 3 or 4?
Okay, no, the answer is 0.
0.
They don't have to read. Now, they can, and lots of teachers do bring in Canadian books, but there's nothing in the curriculum that says they have to read any Canadian books. Okay, so that's one problem. Question 2. Of the top 10 most frequently taught books in Ontario high schools, grade 7 to 12, how many are Canadian, according to a survey that was done in 2017?
There's got to be at least 2 or 3 in there, because Farley Mowat, you know, Alice in the Family.
There's 0 in the top 10. Okay, the top book is To Kill a Mockingbird, which is a great book, but it's American, right?
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
last question.
The third and last question, Dylan.
Why do I think the answer is probably 0?
What is the minimum percentage of Canadian books that Scholastic, you know, they have flyers in all they have flyers, they have your book fairs. What's the minimum percentage of Canadian books that they have to offer in their flyers and book fairs to Canadian schools?
Is it 0?
It's 0.
Okay.
It's 0.
So about 45 seconds left here. What should be done about this?
Okay, so I think schools need to get more Canadian books in there. Part of it has to do with the curriculum. So let's say there has to be some Canadian books that kids have to read. But secondly, I have this brilliant idea that Heather Reisman, who started Indigo Chapters, she should have this book amnesty program where schools could bring in all their dog-eared copies of like The Great Gatsby and To Kill a Mockingbird and Catcher in the Rye, and they could trade them in for brand new, amazing Canadian books.
Yes.
So Heather Reisman, if you're out there, this is a great idea.
And one of the books should at least be one from the Dunces Anonymous series, including the third one, Hypnotic Dunces, correct?
Yes. Thank you.
DuncesAnonymous.com, the website. Kate, thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks, Dylan.
More Daytime coming up in moments. Rogers TV.